Hi everyone, and welcome back to Let's Discuss, a mother-daughter podcast where we talk about pop culture events and current events just to find insights on how to make our own lives better. So my name is Jayda, I'm 22.
I'm Jasmyn, 22 also.
I'm Deirdre, the mom.
And I'm Jordyn, and I'm 22.
Over the weekend, there was some controversy with this singer, Lana Del Rey, and basically she called out some of the number one artists, female artists, for using sex appeal in their music to get number ones. So that kind of got me thinking about how there's the saying that sex sells. I wanted to think for our lives, like as individuals who are not in the entertainment industry, do you think that there's any truth to sex sells when it comes to us? Like, do women have to have sex appeal to be successful as like an average woman, not like a celebrity?
I think that it's definitely a benefit, but I also think that it's not a 100% necessity. But I think it is a little bit unfair. But if you don't have sex appeal, then maybe your intellectual or like your resume or whatever can like balance it out a little bit. But I do think that it is a plus to be sexy.
You know, let's think about a politician and Hillary Clinton or just a politician that's running for office. I don't think sexiness would sell because sometimes, unfortunately, you think sexy and brains may not go together. It's unfortunate.
Depends.
So for that, you want to be attractive, but maybe not necessarily sexy.
But what if there was a politician that was sexy and we're like, oh, she's cute, and then she like
I feel like people
had
wouldn't take her serious.
You don't think so? But what if she was like real good, like, you know, like.
I don't think people would be able to see past that. It's like, people couldn't even see past Obama's skin color, so they're not going to be able to see past someone who's
I didn't say she was gonna be black.
I'm not saying she's going to be black.
What if it's a white woman that's sexy?
Yeah.
But she's like, still has a lot of accomplishments. You don't think they would take
like all the female,
but not
They
sexy,
feel they're gonna
but not like sexy, like too sexy. Like, what if she's just like an attractive woman? Because I don't find Hillary Clinton. I don't know if any of the girls who ran for president are considered.
What's the one called Palin?
Sarah
Palin.
Was she sexy?
She was attractive.
She was.
But
Yeah.
like,
But I think
fine.
if you're sexy and you're running for office, I think they're gonna dig deeper, like to see what does she bring to the table. It's unfortunate.
Or try to find dirt on you.
I don't know,
But if you're like trying to be like any other job, it would help.
I think being attractive.
It depends on the job.
And it depends. Now, some people suppress their sexiness.
Yeah.
You know, like they may have voluptuousness and they go for that interview and they don't want to be taken lightly. They want to be taken seriously and seen for what's on their resume and what they can bring to the table versus their voluptuousness. So
But they're not going to make them.
suppress it.
But they're going to suppress their assets. But they're not going to make themselves ugly. But they're still going to walk in there looking attractive.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Like,
So what do you
this
think?
kind of reminds me of something I learned about in psychology called the halo effect.
What's that?
Basically, there's a bias. When you see an attractive person, you assume that they're smarter, you assume that they are more trustworthy. They did studies on this, and like just based on like what a person's face looks like, people made they thought the more attractive person was more trustworthy, like, so they gave examples. They gave like lower prison sentences to the people who were more attractive. So that was something interesting to.
Why is that, I wonder, though? It's interesting.
Even when you're younger and you're watching like Disney movies, notice how the villain is always unattractive.
And
Always?
they're evil looking.
But sometimes evil's sexy.
I'm trying to think of a nice looking
Cinderella was attractive.
What about the
Snow
101 Dalmatians? That
Corella.
Corella, she was kind of
Her
sexy.
face wasn't sexy.
It wasn't. I don't really remember how the movie went.
She was like an old lady.
She was.
Yeah.
What is
I didn't see
sexy?
the movie.
That's a good question.
And can that be taught? That was something I had always.
Yes.
Can you teach someone to be sexy? I
Yes.
don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't
you
think so.
can.
I think you could put two people in an outfit and tell them to walk, and someone has sex appeal, they just know how to do it, and the other one, even it's the same outfit, she just doesn't exude.
With
You
a
can
little,
teach someone confidence. And like,
Yeah.
I think you can teach that.
they're not gonna like if you take the two people on day one, they're not gonna look the same. But I think that the person who's learning can learn how to fake it, even if they feel uncomfortable. With a certain amount of practice, they can learn how to fake it till they make it.
I always thought that like sexiness was confidence. Like, so for example, think about Rihanna. Like, she wears some outfits that I feel like only she could pull off, and it's because it's like it's not even about the outfit. It's about like her being in it.
confidence.
Like I feel like people can wear anything if they feel confident in it. Like it doesn't even matter what you wear.
It's true.
And you might feel uncomfortable in an outfit, but if you meet someone new, they won't even know that it's weird for you to be wearing that. But if I go around you guys and I'm wearing something like bright orange and I'm like, because I don't wear that, you guys will be like. But if like someone new met me and they see me wearing it they might not even think that it's anything different than what I normally do because they don't know.
What do you think of like saying if the sexiness sell? You put someone like India Arie and Beyonce. They're two different types of performances, and one is more of like a sexy performance and one is more of a urban, earthy performance. But do you think that sells more records to be sexy and half naked? Well, not half naked, but to gyrate and whatnot on the stage versus maybe Alicia Keys, who's just playing the piano and she's singing, she's not showing as much skin, just as talented. So what do you think of that?
I feel that it depends because I feel like the kind of person who seeks out an India Arie like music video probably has certain expectations of like what they want. Like they're probably not looking for someone who's going to be like gyrating and whatnot. So I feel like it's part of like knowing your niche. Like I feel like
Jill Scott, India Arie, Erykah Badu, that type of performer.
Yeah. Like I feel like yes, the sex will be more popular, but like that doesn't mean that you know what I'm saying? Like there's always like people looking for something different, even if they're not like the mainstream thing.
Yeah, they might have to work a little bit harder to get to that level too.
I think it is like possible for them to make it to the top.
I think it's possible too.
Yeah,
but I just think that it might take them a little longer,
which is unfortunate, right? So let's just say you all were hiring, and two people come in for the job. One is very attractive. And the other one is not so attractive. He's not as polished looking. And how do you think?
Are the resumes the same?
Resumes are the same.
Exactly
what's
the same.
Job?
Yeah, what's the job?
Oh.
Yeah, it depends on the job.
It depends on the job.
Because some jobs, like, it's important to look good.
Yeah,
like, if you're a salesperson or a model, obviously.
Yeah, and I feel like if it doesn't matter what they look like, I would just pick the person who I think I would mesh better with. Who do I like more as a person?
Do you think that same thing applies to males that hire?
I don't know what they be thinking in their heads.
So how important do you think attractiveness is on an everyday level for
important?
Yeah. Like how important? Like if you had to like rank it and then give an example, like how important is it to pay attention to what you look like or like work out?
10.
I feel like first impressions are everything. So like. Obviously, you want to put your best self forward, or like,
when you look good, you feel good.
Exactly.
Especially for the receiving person. If you don't look like you're taking care of yourself, or your appearance is important to you, then I don't think your work. You just get that impression that you just don't care.
Yeah. How could I trust you to be in my business if you don't even look like you trust yourself to brush your hair? Like, even though it sounds bad, but it's kind of like you haven't even done the first step. What else are you not gonna do?
And they say like beauty is an eye of the beholder. So like I feel like what's attractive to us might be like different to someone else, or what's unattractive to us might be attractive to someone else.
Yeah.
So like it's just so weird, like how there's this
different.
There's a whole spectrum
of
attractiveness. Like
I know, but it's also good because then you know that there's someone out there for everyone.
Yeah. I always say there's a lid for every pot.
It's like a shame that we put so much emphasis into how people look. You just can't help how you look sometimes.
No, but there's a difference between how you look and how you present yourself. Like I'm talking about, okay, clothes or hair is brushed. Like I'm not talking about his eyes are big. Like no, I don't mean that. But I mean like you gotta look clean. You gotta
look good appearance.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody like just because you have features that are unfavorable doesn't mean that there's no hope for you.
Like I guess there's what you're saying is that like there's always something you can do, like you can put effort on what you wear, like your style or
right. If you dress really well, I'm gonna be like, wow, like she dresses real good.
So say you go into an interview and you have features that are unfavorable, like if you put yourself together, if you dress well, like if you present yourself, are respectful, like that can go way further than your appearance.
Yeah, they might not even notice your appearance because they're so blown away by everything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and on the flip side, if you come in there with 10-inch heels and, you know, showing too much cleavage and too much makeup and your hair all...
Yeah, that can go
against you also. Right?
But I do feel like there is such thing as pretty girl privilege.
Oh, yeah.
What's pretty girl privilege?
I think it's like when you go to a bar and like, you know, like you don't even have to buy any drinks like with your own money because everyone's trying to buy you a drink, or you get stuff for free all the time. Like you go to Panera.
Yeah, that's me.
Or even on like the less, even like the something that's very small. Like you go to Chipotle and there's no more steak, and they tell you no, it's gonna be 10 minutes, but the guy's like, no, I got you.
Yes.
Do you get that?
Yeah.
That's
Look,
cool.
you're not gonna tell me you ran out of steak at Chipotle.
You get what?
You're not gonna tell me you ran out of steak at Chipotle. Go to the back
and get some more.
I have a question for you guys though. So
Right.
like we all know that pretty privilege is a thing. Do you think that is it wrong or right to, if you know you're a pretty girl, to capitalize off of your privilege?
My favorite type of person is when you go to the, so okay, let me not say my favorite type of person, but I love when you go to the club, right? And you know, when you have a group of friends, like everybody has their good nights. One day it's going to be Jordyn that's getting the drinks. One day it's going to be Jayda.
And then you say, hook up my friend too.
But the best type of people are not going to just come back with a drink for themselves. They're to come back with a drink for everybody.
They use that
my friends are thirsty too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they use that pretty girl privilege to hook up everybody.
Everybody
That's cool.
up.
That's cool.
So what about when it's a job situation though? Say like you go on a job interview and you're interviewed by a man. Mm-hmm. Is it okay for that person to flirt a little bit to like get on their good side?
Yeah. You're not sleeping with the man.
Or use your charm. I like to say
butter him out.
Like
if you have all the credentials, it's unfortunate if you have to do that and you have nothing going for you and you have to try and fill yourself. But if you have everything and you want to be charming and
right.
you know that you can let him know that you would be someone that would work well within the environment, there's nothing wrong with, you know.
It's not like you're giving him peeks of under your skirt. You're just kind of like
if you know you're not qualified, like it's okay to like compensate for what you're lacking.
And how
like it depends on the circumstance.
You have to feel it out. You have to feel the situation.
Feel
but more often than not, the man is going to be the one to start with you.
Okay, so where do you draw the line?
When you're
the boss,
wait.
The boss knows that you're not that qualified, and he's looking at your resume and he's thinking, well, maybe I can flirt with her and, you know, get some type of attention in other ways. And
he's trying to sleep with her.
He's trying to put it out there, like, hey, you know.
Is he trying to sleep with her?
Yeah.
No, you can't do that.
And if this is a job, you don't want that like in your workplace.
So that's when you draw the line.
That's an HR
right?
violation.
That is.
So it's tricky. It's tricky because you can't be saying I'm gonna use charm, but then when you use the charm and he's attracted to that charm, and then you're like,
I think you also have to be careful because what I think is like looks or charm can get you in the door, but it can't keep you there. So you gotta, if you do that to get the job, you have to make sure that you know what you're doing. You've like done, you know, you actually are qualified, because like once you're there and like you're not getting the results that they want,
and you're out the door.
But that's also like, okay, these men are running companies. Like, do you really think that they're gonna just give a girl a job for no, like, obviously they see a little bit of potential, and then the charm like furthers it a little bit. If there's absolutely no potential, they're not gonna just risk their business.
You don't think some of those politicians were doing just that? Like, well, they probably have qualifications.
Yeah, you have to have a little bit of a qualification.
Right. That's what I said. Compensate for what you don't have.
Right. So it's not like I don't think it's to the point where they're going to get the job and then not know what the hell they're doing because they don't know how to speak Spanish and the job requires them to be bilingual. But maybe like they could just get a little bit more training on something that, you know, they aren't qualified on.
So can we bring it back to the original thing though? Like,
yeah.
What Lana said. What did she say?
What I got from it, like, I may be wrong, but this is how I thought she was saying, but all the number one singles right now by women were about being sexy, cheating, or basically like it was about sexuality, but in a more like, you know, savage kind of way. But she was saying when she makes music, a lot of people would say that she's glorifying abuse because her music was more submissive. Like it was like from a weaker woman's point of view. She kind of thought it was kind of unfair that was being glorified, but she was being like criticized as like being like glorifying abuse, even though women go through that every day. Like it's like not a secret that there are women who are submissive or who are in abusive relationships. So that's what I thought.
I want to know who she said was cheating. Who said they were cheating? Y'all know?
Who said they were cheating?
She said that the music was about cheating. Ain't nobody said nothing about cheating.
Oh, well, Megan's always talking about, like...
She never said she was in a relationship.
Yeah, she never claimed she was in a relationship. I don't know. I feel like she doesn't realize... Well, she probably didn't realize, or I don't know. Like, all these women on the top 10 or whatever, like, went through their own struggles. Like, she's not the only one being criticized.
Right.
You know? So,
because
like,
she's criticizing them too.
Right.
Yeah.
By her doing that, it's her criticizing them. So, like, Beyonce definitely went through her phase where everyone was against her, and, like the industry flip-flops. Like, you know, like, I feel like she needs to keep up with the times. Like, every one of those artists, every single one of them changed their sound to keep up with the times, and she has yet to change her sound and keep up with the times. Like, I feel like the music industry is also a business, and like you have to keep up with it to keep charting. So it's not fair of her to say like, oh, now they're making music, blah blah blah. That's the trend now. Like the empowering women and, you know, with the careless attitude, whatever, that's the trend now. So
we don't want to cry anymore.
Exactly.
Sorry.
She was part of the whole The Weeknd, Lana Del Rey, crying in your bed, depressed era, like high school era. So I just feel like get with it or stop talking.
I feel like I could see her point, but she messed up when she mentioned other people's names.
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like that's what got people like riled up, was that she named all those people. Because what you said, like everyone's gotten criticized. Like she's not the only one. So I took an African American music class in the college, and we learned about the history of African American music. And one thing we learned about was blues music and black women. Blues music was a way that black women always talked about like the struggles they were going through, about abusive relationships, about like the struggles of being a black woman. Like that was always a thing that it was. Music has never been just like empowering. Like it's always been about expressing these deeper felt emotions.
Story.
Yeah, and like I remember the music growing up in my generation, and even the music that I still appreciate, it talks about sadness, or it talks about relationships, or losing someone. So that's what used to sell.
Right. Times have changed, and she's just gonna have to keep up, mustard, or catch up, mustard.
It definitely wasn't fair of her to say that she paved the way, because she did not pave.
So she's saying she paved the way with singing sad songs.
Singing about
Can you imagine?
No. Sad songs have been around. Blues, rhythm and blues. That's what it was. Sad songs. So
I agree.
It's literally rhythm and blues. Like,
Literally. Media just reflects what people want, and I guess people right now, they want to be empowered. Like we're tired of being sad. We're tired of like crying. We're tired of like at some point we need like
empowerment.
Right. Even if I can't relate, even if the city girls are talking about scamming this person and doing that, I'm gonna still sing right along because at the end of the day, like it makes me feel good. It makes it's lit.
You want feel good songs too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking that. Do you guys know about the Maslow hierarchy of needs? Have you heard of that?
No.
But basically, it's like this concept that at the top, the tiny thing at the top is self-actualization.
Oh wait, I've heard it in psychology.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was thinking that hip-hop music is so popular because it literally is a manifestation of like the hierarchy of needs. Like so you sing about, I've got all this money, you got resources, you got like food to eat. That's something we need. Talking about all like the bitches and hoes or whatever, that sex is a need. Getting respect from your peers, like that's community, that's a need. So I feel like that's probably why hip-hop music is so popular, even though like people are like, oh, it's so vulgar, but there's a reason why people like it.
Yeah. Good point.
And I'm not a fan of hip hop.
Yeah, you are.
Like what song?
I'm a savage.
Really?
That's because
She be walking around the house like classy, bougie, ratchet. Like you like it. You like it.
Because I'm hearing it so much. But
Kiki,
like rap.
do you love that song?
But that's hip hop?
Drake is a rapper.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm just thinking I don't like rap.
Drake is a rapper.
But I don't like
Even Meg's a
don't you like
rapper.
Megan
I'm
Thee
a
Stallion.
savage.
That's all hip hop.
I like the song part of it.
The beat?
Yes, the beat.
Hip, so she likes hip hop.
So what
Trap
do
beats. She likes trap beats.
She likes trap princess.
No, what is that? Tell us.
Trap is like a certain type of sound that comes from like trap houses.
I'm learning so much. I learned what Netflix and chill is, trap music, and then what's that? Situationships, and there was something. I'm learning so much from you guys during this pandemic.
Yeah.
But like
What did I say the other day by the refrigerator that you guys couldn't believe I said?
You said you were tight.
Tight.
I was like, where did you learn that from?
Thank you guys for watching this episode of Let's Discuss. If you like this episode, make sure to give it a thumbs up and a red heart. Tell us in the comment section below, what do you think about the whole Lana Del Rey situation? What do you think about sex selling? What do you think about pretty girl privilege? Just let us know in the comments below.
Tell us the best pretty girl privilege you've ever received.
Yes, tell us your best situation, because we definitely want to hear. And we'll share ours too in the comment section below.
Bye.
Happy Memorial.